I know. It is very difficult to sit through an hour-long video, especially when you have so much of amazing content happening out there. So here it is, the best of whatever has been shared in this navigation story. Trust me, it is just hardly going to take you less time than what is going to take you to cook a pasta. You will have something really great to look forward to. And yeah, let us know. Share your feedback, share your thoughts. I'm sure you will love it. Especially when you speak about, giving attention to thing here, it takes a lot of time especially given the journey which, you are able to really synthesize it and be able to translate into some kind of action. It's easy said. I think at the hindsight, you can say that you are making it look so very easy. But I'm sure something would have really, gone inside in terms of either, stirring you up or thinking. Was there any of those moments which really brought it all up for you to take this journey?
I always, when I talk about it's funny now, the age I am now, obviously people come to me and ask how I made the change. It seems like a blink of an eye since I was the person asking other people. It really does. It's very weird. But I think what happened was I was going through so many changes at the same time. So I think it's pretty classic, I see now, for people in their early 30s to get into kind of self-awareness, questioning things maybe they hadn't questioned before. The parents are getting older, moved out of home, got my job. So there was actually lots of different change going on. So it really was a kind of fermenting of time for me, lots of ferment going on. And at one level I was aware of it, but at another level I was deeply unaware of all the changes that were happening inside me and around me. So it was a storm, if you want to take the Voyager was a storm. Okay, yes. Right.
So, and anything which kind of, during that time, kind of something which you latched on to, something which just put it all together for you?
I think when I think back, I think one of the key pieces for me, there was a lot of things that came together. So Unilever started buying and selling companies, much more. So we started talking about vision and values. So that was one thing that was going on.
Right.
And then there was one person who was very instrumental, who I'm still in touch with today. And he was on a similar journey to me, but maybe 3, 4, 5 years ahead of me. He'd been in Unilever, he'd left, he'd started his own company, very successful. And he introduced me to this whole world of personal development training. So not necessarily linked into a corporation, personal work. And that was really something that gave me opened up a whole new world for me. I didn't even know that world existed. I mean, I was really, school, university, Unilever. I didn't really know there was this other world out there, public trainings, and that was a game changer. That really was a game changer for me. It gave me a whole different insight, really, into what was possible.
Yeah. And what really helped you in terms of translating this whole insight to be able to getting into and making it it's a big decision, leaving the comfort of being in Unilever.
Yeah.
Things are very structured.
Yeah.
There's a career progression, there is something to learn from. Things are very structured. And while, yes, love is the kind of emotion which makes you just jump out, but very interested to know how did you manage to, put the other plugs together?
I mean, that move into action, it did take me a while. I mean, I would say, so it was probably, if I say 97, 98, 99 was at the early stages, it was still 3 years. It was February 2002 that I really finally went to Jakarta to start this new world with this new company. And there was a lot of soul searching in that time. My parents saying, "What are you doing? What about your pension at Unilever?" I'm in my early 30s and they're already talking about my pension at Unilever, because that's what they knew. My parents, that was their, why would you leave Unilever? I mean, it was right. Like that. From their era, that was kind of crazy. That said, they were very supportive. It wasn't like you shouldn't do that, but they did ask me to really make sure it was right for me. Now, they were always supportive of me, but they clearly had their concerns. And I'm very close. Two of my 3 parents, there's a story in there, have passed away now, but my biological father's still alive. And they've always been very big, important factors in my life. And so I took their input very seriously. And so I worked through that with my mentor, as I said, the guy who I mentioned earlier. So it was a process of unfolding, really. It's like you don't get engaged on your first date, if you want to keep going with the love analogy. It's like, so there was a process of discovery.
And especially this part, which you just mentioned, Marcus, is true for many individuals, especially at that phase of their life. And you just shared that while it was different from a thinking how generally you have parents are protective about your journey, they will give you advice, share it with you. But it's not so easy to still be able to, say, I hear you, but I still want to do something different. I mean, I just hear that so many times, especially in this journey when you are in your midlife period.
Yeah.
At some point of this hits you. I think intellectually we do understand it, but very difficult to take a decision. How did you manage to do that?
Well, as I say, I don't want to overplay it because they were very supportive. And at the end of the day, if I'd said, I'm doing it, they were going to back me. So it wasn't that I had to fight against their advice. They never said, don't do it. They never ever said that. But they did ask, they asked me great questions. I guess in retrospect, they were coaching me maybe in some way, shape or form, but they were asking me great questions. And one of the things they said, and this is something that I still say to people in now the roles are reversed kind of thing, which is go and speak to people who are doing the job that you think you want to do.
That's a great advice.
And find out what they do, because what do they do Monday at 9 o'clock? Which is a great question, because as you'll know, and I know, yes, I work in coaching and training, but that's only a percentage of the time in the job, so to speak.
Right.
And that really helped actually, and it helped me narrow down the field from a big field into some smaller niches that I wanted to focus on. That really helped.
I told you so. It'll hardly take you any time to go through that clip. By now, I think you would have got a sense in terms of what we really have it in our channel. Obviously, we are going to keep adding a lot of interesting content. And if you really want to dive in, go ahead, listen to those videos. They have some amazing insight, and I look forward for a lot of stuff rolling out for you folks. Enjoy.